Tim Doescher joins me to dig further into this storyline. And listen, you and I have talked a lot about where we're going with respect to the economy, but we still don't have all the numbers. Let me share what the Labor Secretary said about the jobs numbers and the economy and get your reaction on the other side.
I'm hoping that September data will be released maybe next week, but we have to fully continue to process that. As far as the October reporting, BLS was not able to fully collect the data, especially the CPI or the jobs report, and so they will have to assess for accuracy, make sure they have enough data collection.
Okay, so the numbers aren't quite what we would expect, but that makes sense given the long government shutdown, right?
That wasn't a very ringing endorsement of the numbers that are coming out, especially really after what we went through with, firing the BLS director in the first place. And so, but look, I think that this affordability crisis, Kevin, we got to reframe this because a lot of people are putting this on President Trump. Let's just remember, he has to deal with this now, but this is a President Biden affordability crisis. There's no question about it. He let the inflation get out of control. So if we reframe it to that position, now we're in a position of what can we actually do to solve this? There's a lot of ideas going out there, maybe a stimulus check of $2,000, but really what needs to happen, Kevin, is we need to get out of the way. If you're gonna try and stimulate something, instead of giving, $600 billion of stimulus checks, which is what the estimates are, why don't we cut taxes? Why don't we use that money to further cut taxes and get those investments that you see with the One Big Beautiful Bill, give that a stimulus, and then you'll see the jobs, and then you'll see the wages continue to increase.
I kind of like your idea, and I do give credit where credit is due when you sort of come up with different ideas. Maybe you give checks back, maybe you roll back some tariffs. Do what you can, whatever you can, to try to engage the American people, not just to convince them that we do hear you, we understand, but also to continue to address the issue, because as you mentioned, this guy's only been in office for 10 months.
Yes.
The other guy had 4 years to kind of, figure out what they wanted to do, and some of it didn't go so well, obviously. Let me speak to this tariff rollback. This is Greer. Again, we're talking about this idea of maybe we modulate on some things to make groceries cheaper. Get your reaction after this sound.
They had relatively low tariffs already, but they're offering all industrial imports to the United States at 0%, and they're giving a lot of market access in key agricultural exports from the United States. Things like poultry that are, as you know, are really hard to get into Europe. They've agreed to accept American poultry, pork, bison. It's a big deal, all kinds of specialty crops. So they're agreeing to these things, and then on top of that, they are doing this $200 billion investment program.
Okay, look, I don't mind rolling back the tariffs. I think that's fine, especially if it's going to make things cheaper for Americans, as long as there's reciprocity, which is to say market access for our products and services.
Look, I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about here. People are saying, oh, Trump's retreating from the tariffs. No, Trump's goal all along, as we've talked about, was to use tariffs to get to better deals. Like you said, opening up markets, getting their tariffs lower, using that as a carrot and stick. But just remember, when coffee increases 21% because of industry-specific tariffs. We are tariffing coffee beans. We are tariffing steel. Those don't work. Those actually lose jobs. Those make things more expensive because you're not getting anything for it. You are increasing taxes on that. So it is a very good sign to see that the Trump administration is saying, look, we want better trade deals, but we can't do it at the expense of our pocketbooks at home. They're hearing that, and I think that things are going to get cheaper because of it.
Spot on analysis. Let me get your take on this. This is from the Wall Street Journal. It predicts that 2026 will be the worst for college grads in quite a while. We're talking about 5 years. Share this. This is what it says in part. It says companies predict. Now, we're talking about companies making this prediction. 6 months out from graduation season, more than half of the 183 employers surveyed by the National Association of Colleges and Employers rate the job market for the class of 26 as poor or fair. That's pretty scary, especially considering how much college costs. Do you think that's true? And if so, what, if anything, can be done about that?
Well, look, here's the bottom line. I know the job market seems a little hard, but maybe it's the job market that seems hard for what they're majoring in. What are these students majoring in? Are they majoring in underwater basket weaving or some liberal arts thing? Women's studies. A lot of men in my schools did women's studies. I'm not sure why, but they did. And the question is this. If there's 7.5 million, roughly, open jobs in this country.
That's right.
That means that there is a need for workers. So we have to shift the question to what are we teaching at a junior high, at a high school level to our kids? What are we telling them? You have to do this. You have to go to a liberal arts college and, again, study underwater basketball in order to be successful. That's what we have to reframe this as. And this is a posture that can come from D.C., but Kevin, it's got to come from localities. It's got to come from state, and it's got to come from local areas.
And come from the schools and also the employers. Let's be aggressive about retraining. If you come out of a college, or even if you don't go to college, let's get people trained for the jobs that we actually have, and I think that'll make big dividends moving forward. Tim, great to have you.
Good to be here, Kevin.
Appreciate you having you on a weekend, no less. Keep it in the family.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.